loaded, most certainly. Yeah, I get it loaded. You ride the way, if you ride the way.
So you want to learn the 5-minute scalping strategy that I use when it comes to Elliott wave trading. In this video, that is exactly what I'm about to break down and show you how to master Elliott wave trader, how I spin it off in a 5-minute and trade it off the 5-minute time frame. That is exactly what I'm gonna do in this video, so don't go anywhere. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so here you have the chart. Now the first thing we need to focus is understanding what an impulsive wave is. Now an impulsive wave is also another terminology they use in Elliott wave called motive wave. A motive wave is essentially a strong aggressive move towards the upside or towards the downside. Now another thing that a lot of people don't know in Elliott wave is that there's essentially 5 waves that is measured in an impulsive trend, which can be an uptrend, or an impulsive trend, which can be a downtrend. It doesn't matter, but there's essentially 5 waves. Now another rule applies where you can actually measure these 5 waves using the Fibonacci retracement and using the Fibonacci extension. I am literally going to show you how to use the Fib retracement and also the Fib extension in this video so you guys can understand how to calculate these moves. Now, first and foremost, like I told you guys before, this video ain't going to be the only video on Elliott wave because there's still a lot more to it. So don't think just because you watch this video, you are Elliott wave guru. That ain't how it's gonna work, but you will definitely understand the basics and how important it is to start using this method in trading. Wave 1 is the very first impulsive wave up in the rise. What the wave 1 is essentially is an impulsive wave going up or going down. Now, after wave 1 is complete, what will happen is you will get another move called wave 2. Wave 2 is going to be your first corrective wave to the downside. A lot of you guys will see that as a pullback. After wave 2 is complete, you will get my favorite move in Elliott wave, which is wave 3. They say in Elliott wave, wave 3 is supposed to be one of the longest trends in the full trend when it either is going up or going down. So this is one of my top favorite waves. Actually, this is actually one of the ways that I trade and look for my trades when I enter. I'm gonna be showing you guys that too, so don't skip past this video. Another thing is 3 to 4. So going into after wave 3 is completed, wave 4 will come. Wave 4 is your second corrective wave. Also, they say it's usually very hard to identify, but also they do say majority of the time, most of the time, in wave 4, you do get what we call a triangle wave, a triangle corrective pattern. And then after that, another wave that I do like to trade is wave 5. Not as much, but wave 5. Wave 5 is the longest move in the rise or whatever the way it is going, but it's the longest move before it starts the bigger reversal. So now you guys understand that there's 5 waves inside of a corrective pattern. Let's go ahead and take out the extension tool so we can understand how to measure these 5 waves. When we are looking at Elliott wave, one thing that I notice a lot of people do is they eye it. They eye it, and they assume that these are the 5 waves. No, we got to stop that because that is not how we are going to measure Elliott wave. That is not how you properly measure Elliott wave. We need to use the Fibonacci sequence in order for us to get the accurate information. So when we notice that we have our very first move to the upside, and then after we establish that, we need to establish the pullback, which is going to be wave 2. Once we have wave 1 and wave 2, this is what I always tell people. If you do not know how to use this extension tool, you can use the Fib retracement tool as well. But I'm going to go over the extension tool first. You have to draw your extension 3 points. So what I mean by that is you have to do it from the A to the B to the back down to the A. Now, in Elliott wave, we have to first establish wave 1 and wave 2. Once we establish wave 1 and wave 2, all we are going to do is take our Fib extension, draw our Fib extension from the beginning of wave 1 to the end of wave 1, back down to the beginning of wave 1. I want you guys to pause this video and I want you to make sure you have these settings. After you have the settings, what they say in Elliott wave is wave 3 can either retrace to the 1.618 mark or even all the way up to the 2.618 mark. This is how far wave 3 can extend to. However, in this example, we're going to just say wave 3 extended to the 1.618. What this means for you guys is once you already established wave 1 and you already established wave 2, you can then now look for that double bottom, engulfing candle, wick rejections, anything to tell you the buyers are in the market. There's no specific rule that I have when I look for this. I just look for buyer momentum. Once I get that, I clearly take this trade all the way to my 1.618. Rule of thumb: if you can catch an Elliott wave move on a higher time frame, a daily, preferably a 4-hour, don't matter, any higher time frame, what I am then want you guys to do is go on that 5-minute time frame and keep taking this trade until it goes to the 1.618. Let me go ahead and stop you again. If you are looking to scalp, and that is the whole reason of this video, you are going to literally get in the trade, get out, get in the trade, get out, get in the trade, get out until it hits wave 3 Fibonacci sequence, which I call 1.618. Very simple. There's nothing more to that. I'm going to break that down in a little bit, but let's keep going. After that is complete, now let's say we want to continue to ride this trend. We definitely can. What we need to do is establish the end of wave 3, which is up here, and then the end of wave 4, which would be down here. After we establish that, what we can then now do is take our extension tool, draw our extension tool from the beginning of wave 3, which is all the way down here, to the end of wave 3, back down to the beginning of wave 3. And they say for wave 5, it can either come back to this double top of wave 3, which will basically mean 100%, or it can even extend out further to the 1.618, which is this point here. And that's what I got marked here. Now, after that is complete, that is going to be the exact same rules, guys. These are the exact same rules that I'm doing in wave 3. I'm going to go on a 5-minute now, and then I'm going to keep riding this trend and keep riding this trend. Let me stop you again. What I want you guys is to realize is this: market moves in zigzags. What a zigzag is an A, B, C. Basically, what that means is inside of the A leg, you got 5 waves. Inside of the B leg, it's your corrective, known as your pullback, you got 3 waves. Inside of the C leg, you got another set of 5 waves. Very, very simple. I take that same concept and I implement that on a smaller time frame and start looking for these trades. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this looks in a live market. So we are on the 1-hour time frame right now looking at alt USD. However, I said this is a 5-minute scalping strategy, and yes, this is a 5-minute scalping strategy. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, because this is just one video of many videos that I will be dropping on LIive Wave, because it is going to get complicated. It is definitely going to get complicated. You're not going to pick it up off this one video. I just can't do it. That's just impossible. So let's just say that we spot LIive Wave on a 1-hour. You guys pay attention to my red line. This is a diagonal pattern, but also in terms is still a, what I'm gonna go ahead and throw in here as a impulsive trend. If you can find a bigger picture on a higher time frame, everything else is going to be in your advantage on a smaller time frame. Let's focus on wave 3, which is actually this wave right here. Okay, I'm not gonna get into too much details on when to know wave 2 is ending, when wave 1 is ending, because like I said, we're going to talk about that in another video. Make sure you subscribe so you can get that info. But all we're going to focus on is once we see the double bottom on the 1-hour, engulfing candle on the 1-hour, that is my sense of me knowing that this is potentially the end of wave 2 going to wave 3. So all I'm gonna do is take out my extension tool. We're gonna draw our extension tool from the beginning of wave 1 to the end of wave 1, back down to the beginning of wave 1, and wherever I see my 1.618 market is at, that's where I'm gonna take my TP. Now, as y'all see here, this was a trade that I ended up taking just off the 1-hour, but on the 5-minute, I'm gonna show you how this will look. So now I'm on a 5-minute time frame. Let's say on the 1-hour, we already established that we got the new high, everything broke, and that actually had happened somewhere around here. Okay, perfectly fine. Now, like I told you guys earlier, how I look at market is like this. I see an A, B, C pattern, which is known as a zigzag. So what I'm basically getting at is I'm going to see a bunch of zigzags going all the way up to 1.618. Until it gets there, I leave the market alone and wait. Okay, I'm going to give you a prime example. Once I notice on the 5-minute time frame, I see an impulsive and a correction, I am going to get in the trade. Like I told you guys earlier, if you haven't watched my video on all scalping strategies, please watch that video, because in that video, I talk about a crazy way for you guys to look for entries. All I say is, inside of a correction, inside of a pullback, you don't get one pull and then goes all the way up. You get at least 3 to 5 moves before it actually goes in your favor. Have you guys ever took this concept where you got in a trade and you realize that, oh, I'm gonna take a buy and I'm gonna go ahead and TP here, but then you realize, well, why is market still going down? And then you exit out the trade there because you think that the market is going to go down this way, but then you realize it's still going up. So you say, you know what, I'm gonna get back in, and you get back in here, and you realize it comes back down, and then now you're like, I'm gonna hold this position, and then after you holding this position, you blew your count. Market will do 3 to 5 waves before it does the next impulsive wave. Either if it's gonna go back in our favor or go the other way, don't matter. It will usually always do 3 to 5 waves. So if we focus on this, we got 1 move, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. So this is all I do in a 5 minute. After I establish a 3 to 5 waves, I then take a trade and I just ride this puppy. So now, after I establish those 5 waves, I then go into price action analysis. I start looking at the price first and see if the price is now telling me the buyers are in. So for me, my entry would have been here. So guess what I'm gonna now do? Like I told you guys earlier, I am in and out, in and out, in and out until it hits the bigger picture. I look at market as a bunch of ABC patterns. Remember how I said in the A leg you got 5 waves. In the B leg you got three waves technically, but you still get 5 waves. Bigger picture is 3 waves, because if we were to look at this in bigger picture, this is 1 wave, this is 2, and this is 3. But in a smaller picture, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why I say 3 waves, but sometimes you might say that's 5, and that's why. Now, after those 3 waves are completed, I expect the C leg to continue, which should be another set of 5 waves. Guys, guess what? Inside of all of this right here, this is a correction. Inside of all of this right here, this is impulsive. Inside of all this right here, this is impulsive. There's 5 waves in here. There's 5 waves in here. There's 3 waves in here. There's 3 waves in here. And there's 5 waves in here. Now, remember how I told you earlier how you can measure the 5 waves. So I am entering here, and then I am going to TP. Where am I going to TP at? This is where I take my Fib retracement tool out to figure out the bigger picture. Now, I will enter right off of this move right here. Let's do a long position right here, and then put my stop losses from previous low, and then I'll ride this trade all the way up here. Now, let me go back to, let's say we go back to the beginning of what I was talking about, how to measure Elliott wave. So let's say we figured out wave 1, which would be, I'm going to draw my extension from the beginning here to the end of here, which is technically, I'm supposed to draw all the way down this area here to here, and I see my 1.618 is actually right here. Like I said, this is where I'm taking my trade to, guys. I mean, this is the exact same concept if we was on a 1 hour. I like to look for a higher time frame so I can get the bigger picture, so I can get it in and hold trades longer. This is how I can take numbers past challenges and all that, because once I get the bigger picture, it's a done deal. But at the end of the day, guys, we pretty much got, I'm gonna show you the waves here. So we got wave 1, all of this right here is wave 2, all of this right here is wave 3, and all of this is wave 4, and all of that is wave 5. Guys, like I said, there's so many ways to look at Elliott wave. However, this is just the most basic way that I look at it. However, there's a lot more to it that I do apply when I do trade. As you guys see on a 1 hour time frame, you've seen that this was the bigger opportunity and we have smaller moves inside of it. But you're also like, why did it did a bigger move to the downside? This goes right back to Elliott wave again, guys. So that being said, man, make sure you subscribe so you can get up to date with all of the Elliott wave videos that I will be dropping. Comment down below if you guys want to start using this, and if you are, let me know how it is, man. I always want to hear real results. So appreciate the love, support. Y'all take care, everybody. See you soon in my next video. Peace. Solo.